Hello and welcome back to the Minorities Report. I'm Chris.
And I'm corrupt.
We're back, kind of an E3 edition, with exceptions of a few topics.
Yeah.
We'll get one of those topics out of the way. Which one do you want to talk about first? You
Let
want
me
to talk
see.
about the H3 drama or the Creepshow drama?
Let me see. The Creepshow drama will probably be shorter, but like it is a little elaborate. So that one, I think that one. I think that one first because it's a little elaborate, but it is shorter.
Okay, yep. So, pretend I'm an idiot, which isn't hard.
Okay.
Elaborate on the Creepshow drama for those who don't know.
You know who CreepShowArt is, right?
Yes, she's a art YouTuber.
Okay.
Art community YouTuber, yes.
Okay. So at first, like I was okay. So the art community is kind of different than like the commentary community because the commentary community is very not SJW. It is very it is very anti SJW, right? The art community, the T community, however, is very SJW. So what the art community is, even though they do commentary, they do T commentary. And that's how come they do like T commentary. So they like overlap with the T community. And for people who are wondering like what the hell is the T community? Okay, so the T community is like basically gossip and commentary, but they call it T, right? And the reason why is, and it's just like they call it tea, like spill the tea, sister, and shit like that. It basically just means gossip. So the reason why the thing about the tea community is that most of them, like the large majority of them, are older women, right? Like older white women. Like a lot of them are in their late 20s to early 30s. Some of the younger ones are in their mid 20s. But largely a lot of them are older women, right? That's how come they tend to be like really SJWE and like, you know, all about like everything's problematic, whereas the commentary community is basically just children for the most part. I mean, like it's mostly shit-headed little boys and like teenagers and like a few people who are older, like Tommy C or Augie RFC. But even Augie RFC is a Zoomer too, right? He's not even that much older himself. So that's how come like both of the demographics are so wildly different in terms of what they talk about. Now the art community, even though they don't do, even though they do commentary, they do T commentary. The reason why these two things are different is because T commentary is like, it's mostly gossip shit about like people in the community being problematic or doing things that are considered like wrong or some other such shit. And that's what the art community does. They usually do call outs about people being racist or sexist or something like that. That like the commentary they kind of do is like shit like what one video, what's the last video that like CreepShowArt did? It was something like why there's no straight pride, stuff like that, basically. Like these sort of like these sort of like social justice-y type of like videos. Okay. So that's kind of the difference between the two of them. Now CreepShowArt is a part of the art commentary community, or the art T commentary community, if you want to call it that. She kind of makes the same types of videos in the same type of vein, and she does a lot of the virtue signaling shit, which is why what she did, and the reason why one of the reasons why she like basically had like killed her entire reputation on the platform is because of this, right? So there's this form called lolcow. Chris, do you know what Kiwi Farms is?
Yes.
Okay, so imagine Kiwi Farms on like a 4chan like board. At least that's how I understand it, right? Basically,
Yeah.
lolcow is kind of like that. They basically talk shit about people. It's the same. It's the same concept of people who are, of it being kind of a lawless board where you're pretty much free to say whatever you want and express however you want. And this
Yeah.
obviously kind of pisses off like the social justice crowd, right? So the thing about CreepShowArt is that she got caught she got caught like by the admins on that board of basically participating of so the biggest thing she did was she doxed her sister, and she just generally like shit talked a lot of her friends and said a lot of stuff that like they would consider like bad, right? She said she made like jokes that they didn't like. She said a lot of things that they would find offensive that goes kind of against like the whole like atmosphere of their like little shitty community. All right, so and the reason she got caught is because she would like promote herself and generally try to use the board as like some weird marketing for her channel. And she would try I think she would also try to like turn them against people that she had issues with. Like that's roughly my understanding of it. Now, and that now to make so that like in and of itself, like I personally don't care. I mean, it's shitty that she shit talked her friends, and obviously I have an issue with her doxing her sister or whatever. But like beyond that, like I could care less that she said things that were like mean to people. Like who gives a fuck? Um, what she did, like the second thing she did was apparently she allegedly stalked some YEEteD community cuck named like Emily Artful, basically. And
Yeah.
The Emily Artful thing is that what really like kind of sunk her like career in this like just vapid little pool of shit that is the tea and art community. Basically, she stalked her for like I don't know how many years, like some ridiculously long amount of years, like 5 or 6 years or something like that. And she allegedly fucked with her in the process and like harassed her or something in the process of stalking her. So Emily Artful made this
Oh, okay. Yeah.
long 2 hour video about the entire thing where she kind of rambled on about like what happened, and she had like some receipts about like from like various accounts and shit, and like allegedly like it just keeps getting worse because there's like more stuff that's coming out about the shit that like CreepShowArt did. Now, what's really funny, and to go back to the earlier point, what's really funny about CreepShowArt is that she does this, like I said, she does the virtue signal thing where it's like, you shouldn't shame these people, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't fat shame or any of this other, like, blah, 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 that type of shit. But she did pretty much exactly that. Like she called someone fat. She would make fun of people's weight. She called them ugly. Apparently, she said things that were racist. I don't fucking know because I didn't bother looking at the thread. Like someone said something really funny. Like this boring bitch named Truth Sleuth said something like she's a mega ultra social justice warrior, but she's like the exact opposite of that on like fucking on like lolcow and shit, which I don't know, which I found funny. But basically that's so. I mean, and that's basically as far as CreepShowArt. Now, what's funny is that Augie RFC and Nicholas Diorio got fucking involved, right? So Nick basically said he thought her video was shit, right? And he thought it was like he 90% believes the accusations against CreepShow involving lolcow, but he thought the Emily Artful video wasn't particularly good, right? So this pissed off like Emily Artful and like her rabbit little community, and they started calling him a rape apologist, right? And then Augie RFC got involved, and this bitch named Petty Page or Penny Page or Patty Page, something like that, got angry and then started calling them like Nazis, like the typical racist shit that they usually say. The typical shit they say about you, like you're this, you're that, you're thisophobe, you're that thing. And so it turned into some like little war between like both of these like factions of people, which I find funny because like I also find it somewhat funny because it seems as if like the tea and art community, at least from my perspective, is from what I can see, they seem more homogenized, like they seem more like a collective than the commentary community, which I guess in some way makes sense because they're more of a community, whereas at least as far as I'm concerned, as I'm like a smaller commentary channel, with commentary, it's mostly just you giving your opinion about some stupid fucking thing you find. A lot of commentary channels do like videos on stupid shit like, oh my god, look at this retarded feminist say I hate men, or it's stupid shit like that, right?
Yeah.
Whereas like, or that vegan teacher is at it again, or some like stupid person or some stupid bitch with blue hair saying stupid shit on the internet. Like that's basically what they usually comment on. It's not something that you can really like make a community out of because it's multiple people just like talking about shit, whereas like the tea community and the art community, I guess, like overlap. They talk about like the same shit. They have like this weird like little infighting thing where they all like witch hunt each other and they all talk about like stupid fucking vapid shit. Like basically it's like a community full of like Karens that just sort of cannibalize each other, and they all like share this little space and they like attack each other a lot. Yeah, that's essentially like, at least that's what I see from my perspective. I could be wrong. I don't really care. I just thought like it's just my cursory perspective from looking at like from like following the little bit of T channels that I do. Because, like, I mean, they're supposed to be... Because, I mean, they're kind of commentary channels, but even then, I would say they really aren't. The topics aren't the same. The demographic definitely isn't the same. And the things they talk about are so... just... It's like I said, it's just stupid, gossipy shit that, like... makes sense given like the demographics is a bunch of like old people fucking talking about old people shit. So there you go. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Sorry, hopefully I didn't bore you too much, but that's
all right.
Basically the tea drama art community in a nutshell.
So in the end it doesn't matter.
Not really, no. I mean, it's like I said, the thing she did that's the most fucked up, at least from what I can see, is she doxed her sister, and apparently I don't know, I read this in this massive fucking thread. She apparently doxed her sister because she thought her sister was too much of an SJW or something like that. Which, I swear to God, I find it so funny how how much SJWs, how much like you have these people who like virtue signal on Twitter and they say, ew, I hate SJWs, get away SJW, and it's just like you do the same shit. Like, you really can't call someone an SJW and be disgusted by what they do when you literally do the same thing. But anyway, like, that's pretty much it. That's all I really got to say about that. We can move on to E3, and then I guess after E3 we can talk about like Trisha Paytas and H3H3.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
All right, wait. I have one question. What the hell does that even
yes.
mean anyway? What does that mean anyway? Is it because
What
that's
do you
his
mean?
name? Like
H,
H3. What does that mean? I've always wondered what that
I've,
means.
I've never, yeah. Oh, the first thing is a Reddit, so let's see. Apparently it's because of it's their initials. So instead of an E,
Oh!
it's the three is a backwards E. That's the initials of Ethan and Ela.
Oh, that's what H3H. I thought it had something to do with like their names. Okay, H3H3. Okay, that makes sense.
Yes.
Okay. But yeah, we can talk about H3H3 and Trisha Paytas. Although, like, that bitch is a fucking mess, man. Like, holy shit.
Oh, especially with the Gabby Hanna stuff
Oh my
that
god.
just happened recently.
You gotta tell me
Yeah.
about this Gabby Hanna shit, because I don't know anything
Oh, I
about
don't know a
her.
lot, but I'll try.
Alright, okay.
But anyway, E3, the
Yes.
Electronic Entertainment Experience.
Ooh, I'm excited.
It was cancelled last year because of COVID, but it's back. It was back for 2021. And it wasn't particularly the best.
It was fucking awful and stupid.
It was awful except for like probably 2 conferences, and that was it. Like everything else was like subpar. So you had I think it started off with I'm hoping I think this is in the right order anyway, but
Yeah.
it started off with Ubisoft, where their lineup of games were like small Rainbow Six stuff, Rocksmith, more stuff for Siege, DLC for Valhalla, fucking Just Dance 2022. How does that game still exist?
Just Dance, really?
Who still plays Just Dance?
It's like playing Rock Band in 2021. Like, who does that?
Yeah.
You know?
You got some stuff from Far Cry 6, which is funny because I think the Microsoft conference actually showed more than the Ubisoft conference from
What?
for Far Cry 6.
What was that one conference where they had that really cringy fucking panel where they talked about like diversity and inclusion or something?
Oh, that was Take-Two.
Oh my god, that was so cringe and so awful. Oh my god.
Yeah, we'll get to that, but I think, and then the last 2 things that Ubisoft had were another Mario and Rabbids game, which I think a lot of people kind of agree that that's the only thing that was good out of the Ubisoft conference.
Yeah.
And then the big thing to end the conference was fucking Avatar.
Oh
Avatar
yeah!
game.
Oh right, they're making a sequel to Avatar.
It's not even a sequel.
Oh,
it's just
the video
Avatar
game. Yeah, the Avatar game. Yeah.
Frontiers of Pandora. Fucking James Cameron's Avatar. Like the fucking the second movie isn't even out.
That shit came out in
And
like 2006.
2009. So like I think like 12 years ago.
Like, who even remembers that movie?
It's not even good. Like I think the only reason why people liked it was because of the visuals. Because back then it was like, holy shit, this is so fucking amazing.
This is our end game.
I mean, remember it was the highest grossing film before Endgame.
Which is like, really? I mean, this is what people called entertainment: dances with wolves in space with aliens.
I mean, yeah, like fucking Avatar was just fucking Pocahontas in space.
Pretty much, it was so fucking cheesy and so fucking bad.
Yeah, looking past the visuals, it's just a very generic story. But yeah, no one really particularly cared for the Ubisoft one. Then you had Gearbox, which was like, if you thought Ubisoft was bad, Gearbox was like, hold my beer.
Okay, what was the Gearbox conference about? Like, I didn't see that one.
So, they talked about Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, which is a
I remember that.
It's a standalone game. Yeah,
I saw that.
Yes.
Actually, yeah, I saw that.
So yeah, so they did like the little trailer about that. They didn't even show gameplay, and from what I heard, like it's not so different from like what they showed like at a different event. So they just showed the trailer again. they're porting Godfall over to the PS4, which I think,
Oh yeah,
why?
that's your favorite game. I know that.
Fucking Godfall was so mediocre, so guess what PS4 users? If you couldn't get a PS5, you too can now fucking enjoy the mediocrity
Wow!
that is
I
Godfall.
can play Godfall! You know what? I will say this. I kind of want to play it only because I am curious as to how bland it is. Because
Oh god.
you wouldn't even play it on stream. Like,
Uh,
like I asked, I was like, Chris,
I think I finished that shit in like 2 days, and then I immediately like traded it in.
I was like, oh,
Like I didn't even bother trying to sell it. I'm like, here, fucking take it. I don't want this.
I was like, Chris, dude, like, play this shit on stream. He's like, no, I don't want to play it on stream.
Nah. And then then there was Homeworld 3, Tribes of Midgard, and it did some behind the scenes stuff for the Borderlands movie, but they showed nothing.
What
Like
exactly?
literally nothing.
So we don't even
They
have
had
a trailer for it?
No. Because anything that was seen was like censored to prevent spoilers.
Are you serious?
So we got nothing except from like just Randy Pitchford talking to Kevin Hart, who I still think is incredibly miscast as Roland. Roland is not a comedic character. He does have some funny things to say, but he's not comedic.
They're like, he's popular, you guys like him, right? Haha.
Yeah, but he's black, like Roland.
Exactly! Yeah. That's all you need to do. You just
Exactly.
You just need to match your skin tones. Here you go.
Yeah, so the fucking Gearbox one wasn't good either. And heading into Microsoft Bethesda, I think this is the first one a lot of people thought was like good because they actually showed games. It wasn't just let's just have trailers for everything. Let's just say something's announced and that's it, and not showing anything.
Yeah.
They showed trailers for like some new games, additions to like their existing ones. Games like Hades is now ported to Microsoft. It's not just Switch and PC. More stuff about Far Cry 6. I think the big thing everyone cared about, Among Us on Xbox.
Wow. You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, that tells you something about how shit the state of the game industry is. When fucking Among Us is one of the most anticipated games, and it's a port.
Oh well, I wouldn't say that, but I think the biggest thing, obviously, from the Microsoft Bethesda one. Well, from Bethesda's side, there was Starfield. Even then, it was just like, hey, yep, it's actually a thing.
Yeah, you know what I hated about Starfield? They didn't even show any gameplay. It was just a trailer of a guy starting up a ship.
Yeah. And but the biggest one obviously was Halo Infinite. We got another trailer for that, and then we got a gameplay trailer for the multiplayer. And I'm hyped. It looks good.
So
hopefully it is good. So I don't want a repeat of Halo 5.
So Halo Infinite actually looks good?
Yes. I just need another gameplay, an actual proper gameplay trailer for the story, like another one again. Yeah. Because that was supposed to be a launch title for the Series X, but because of all the criticism they got for showing the gameplay teaser, they decided, no, we're gonna postpone it to work on like the graphical side of it and stuff. So I want to see what the actual thing looks like now. Was it worth the delaying?
To make it into an actually good functional game, basically.
Oh no, the game functioned. It's just like they were criticized for some of the graphical stuff. It's just like this is what it looks like.
No, what I mean what I mean functional is that to make sure it's like at its best, it's like it looks great, it runs great, it feels great. That's kind of what I meant. My bad.
Yeah. Yeah. At least from what we've seen so far, at least the multiplayer looks good. Looks great. And moving on to Square Enix, who decided, hey, Ubisoft and Gearbox, we're gonna be just as bad as them.
Oh my god, dude! Like, it was Marvel, one Final Fantasy game that was and and Babylon's Fall, which actually looks good. But that's it. That's all we got. Oh, and Stranger, and what is it? Life is Strange. which
yeah.
is like which is I guess for like 0.5% of the audience that actually wanted to play it.
But yeah, it's they started off with announcing Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, so this time it's not being done by Crystal Dynamics, who did Avengers. It's being done by the fuck,
Who actually is doing it? I'm kind of...
Eidos Montreal, who were I think responsible for the Deus Ex games.
So Eidos is doing it.
Yeah, Eidos, yes. Eidos Montreal, yeah, they're doing the Guardians of the Galaxy game. So if for all you Deus Ex fans, if I know you're all upset that they couldn't
You won't get
do
your
another
game.
Deus Ex game.
Yep, you won't even get your game.
Yep, you're just gonna get Guardians of the Galaxy. It looks fine. I think there's a lot of parts that need to be polished, but I think the main problem is that you only play as one character, which is Star-Lord, for a team.
So
Like, I would for a Guardians game, I'd feel like it need to be a team thing. It need to be a team-based game where you can switch between characters, but I think they're not doing that because of Marvel Avengers.
So here's my issue with it. Here's my issue. I just think it just doesn't look interesting to me. Like you don't. There is no like. They don't even have like a team element to it. I don't know. It just doesn't look interesting. Like,
I don't like Star-Lord's design.
Yeah, I hate Star-Lord's design. Like
Everything else is kind of fine. Drax's like tattoos could have done with a lot of work. It's just like, let's just put all the red on like the upper half of his chest.
Yeah, that was weird. I didn't really get that one. That was a really, really weird, like that was a really weird, like, direction to go in, actually.
Yeah, and yeah. And, yeah, it's just, a lot of the comedy felt really drawn out.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, it did.
It just went on and on and on. So it didn't really hit. It fell flat in a lot of parts.
Yeah, it felt just... like, I honestly wanted to play... I kind of wanted to play... Like, it felt like they were really trying to capture the feel of the previous game. You know, like they really wanted to not previous game. I'm fucking stupid. It felt like they wanted to capture the feel of the Guardians movies by by spending like 5 hours on them quipping and shit. And like the humor just fell flat. It wasn't particularly interesting. I don't know. I hated everything about it. Like I was just like I would rather play a game that isn't just like 5 hours of niggas quipping, you know?
And then continue from Marvel, you had Avengers stuff because please play our game.
Yes.
Because their next big thing is I think War of Wakanda or War for Wakanda, the Black Panther DLC.
Oh my god, that was so crazy.
Which looking at it is literally just the Black Panther film. But Killmonger is not the villain; it's Claw.
Yeah.
Like they have the same like kind of fight on like the train bridge that Black Panther and Killmonger had. It literally does feel like it's just the first film.
It really does. Like it doesn't feel. You know. Here's one thing. It feels unnecessary. Like that's what it feels like, an unnecessary game. Like you said, there's the fight with Killmonger, and I mean that's it. There's the fight with not Killmonger, but like the game itself, like it doesn't look particularly good. It has all of the problems that the Avengers game had. I guess now instead of multiple characters, you're only using Black Panther, which I guess is an improvement because you can focus on fleshing out his style. But
yeah,
the fight with like Claw just felt just boring. Like I don't know, the game,
and the fact that Claw is just going to become a giant boss at the end from what the trailer looked like.
Yeah,
You're
because
just
the
like,
trailer
wow,
just
this is boring.
because the trailer just spoils everything. Like just spoils the game anyway.
Yeah, which is weird. Like, what's the point?
Like, well,
It's
exactly.
like you
Like,
don't want people to play the game.
exactly. It's like, what's the point in like, why would you spoil? Like, why would you spoil that? Like, you know, I mean, and like you said, it's like they don't want people to fucking play the game because they just spoiled like the last boss fight in the opening trailer. And like, honestly,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
just felt it just all felt so disappointing, you know.
yeah. Understandable. Then we got some stuff about Legend of Mana. We got
Oh,
Life is Strange Remastered Collection. I don't care. Life is Strange True Colors. I don't care either. We got Babylon's Fall, which is by Platinum Games, who did
yeah,
Bayonetta,
and
Metal Gear Rising, Revengeance, and Nier Automata.
here's the thing,
It looks
like
good.
it does.
It looks good. It looks interesting, but it's a live service game, which is worrying. Considering a lot of like studios try to do. Like Marvel's Avengers was a live service, and look what happened with that.
Yeah, the thing that really interested, like it looks great, it looks interesting, but like I'm also kind of concerned. But honestly, here's what I think they're going for. I think they were going for something like not Warhammer. What's that fucking game? Warframe, where you can play because you can play solo. That's one thing that like really like put me in a good place was that you can play it solo. You can play it solo or up to 4 people. And I think the point is that they're trying to go for a Warframe like feel where if you want to play by yourself, you can play by yourself. But if you want to play with other people, you can play with other people. Which I'm
Yeah.
fine with, honestly. Oh, like I don't like the live service thing, but you know, what the fuck? The fuck just happened?
What?
Oh, nothing. Like but yeah, like that's kind of what I'm hoping. That's like I'm kind of hoping. I don't. What the hell is hoping? The fuck?
Hoping. Hoping. Yep.
I'm kind of hoping that something. I'm kind of hoping for something good. You know,
Yeah.
I
Hopefully.
really want something good. I want something good. I want something interesting. I. I don't want it to. I don't want it to suck, Chris.
Yeah, that's understandable. Yeah.
I don't want it to suck, bro. Like it's just like there's only like I'm at most looking forward to like maybe 5 games, bro. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm not looking
Yeah.
forward to a lot of games. Like I'm looking forward to SMT Babylon's Fall. I'm interested in the Final Fantasy game. Legend of Mana because I like Legend of Mana, and that's pretty much it. Like, I mean, I know I'll probably end up getting Bad for Blood, so I can play with so I can play with Skull. But like, I'm sorry, Back 4 Blood, so that I can play with Skull. But I mean, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. So continue with Square. We come to the Final Fantasy segment,
Yeah.
where they announced, "Hey, we're remastering Final Fantasy 1 to 6 for Steam and mobile only." Okay,
Yeah.
whatever. Mobile is the weird one. Like, I'd get Steam, but like mobile.
So are they So what are they doing with Final Fantasy 6? Are they remastering it, or what are they doing with it?
Well, that's what it says. Yeah, remasters.
So
Final Fantasy 1 through 6.
is it going to? So is it going when they say remaster? Is it going to get like the Octopath Traveler kind of treatment, or like what exactly is it gonna look like? Did they show us?
Let's have a look.
Cause like I mean,
I'll wait through this trailer. Come on. Um, it's they're called the Pixel Remaster. So, I'm guessing they're just remasters to port them onto Steam
Oh,
and mobile.
so it's not like what? So it's not like it's not like a full like upgrade of like the graphics or whatever. It's let me see here.
Nah, it's just a remastering. That's it.
That sucks, man.
Yeah, and
And
then the last of Final Fantasy stuff, we have a new game. You thought they were going to show shit about 16, which
no,
I would have preferred because that has the trailer we got from that looks fucking amazing, and I want to see more of that.
yeah.
But no, they decided no, we're not going to show anything with Final Fantasy 16, the next game in their franchise. Instead, they're doing Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin. They're a spin-off of Final Fantasy. They're doing it with Team Ninja, I believe it is. Yes, Team Ninja. Who are part of
I mean, the black dude looks cool, and the pink haired guy look cool, but that's basically it.
yeah. So yeah, they're partnering with Team Ninja, a division of Koei Temco, who are known for the Ninja Gaiden games and the Neo games. And from the trailer, it was instantly memed because of how many times they said chaos.
Chaos. Oh yeah, because he kept saying chaos over and over
Yeah.
again.
Yes, so yeah, as soon as we saw that trailer, it got memed. But the actual game itself, because on the same day they released the demo, unfortunately there was just so much chaos. The demo was corrupted. No one could load it. So Square Enix had to fix the demo. The demo's working now. I myself streamed it, and it's not particularly good.
Not really. I think you said the enemies were overly difficult too.
Yeah, like the goblins were fine to fight, but like I think like everything else, which is like the difficulty was like incredibly raised, and you can tell they just used a lot of the Neo mechanics because it follows a lot of it. There's a mechanic called Soul Shield where you if you activate it it's essentially a parrying system. So you activate it at the right time, it kind of parries the attack, and if you immediately use the attack button, it kind of like it will essentially just like move you towards the enemy, and you'll be able to hit them.
Yeah.
But no, the level design wasn't that interesting. It's very bland, like color wise for a Final Fantasy game.
Yeah.
Which I think is supposed to be the point, but like even then, it's like.
Also, I noticed the character designs are also very bland. They were like, I think
I
Skull.
I don't like the character designs.
Skull made an excellent point, and he said that like Final Fantasy characters should look like Japanese paintings or something like that. Like they should look very interesting and elaborate, but like the characters just look bland and dull. Like who?
Yeah,
is this
like
game
even
for?
like even the. Yeah, like even the main cast of Final Fantasy 15, they just like wore all black. Those are still good designs. They look way better.
Pretty much, but like this is just like, these characters are just so bland and dull, and it's like, and it just makes you wonder like, who is this supposed to be for? You know?
Yeah. The main character that you play is Jack, and for those who haven't played the demo, that is literally so far from what we get from the demo, you only play as that character. It's not like any other Final Fantasy game where you get to swap between characters, but you have a main character that you play as for the majority of the time. So, like for instance, with Final Fantasy VII, you play as Cloud, but you can also control Barrett or Tifa or Aerith or whoever joins the party. You only play as Jack. You can't even issue commands to the other two characters.
Which makes no sense because it's like you kind of need to tell them what the fuck to do. Like it's not like Code Vein where the character can only really do a limited amount of things. But even still, you can kind of like shape what they can do to a degree. With this, like like you have no control over them, and they're just basically just two like NPCs running around and doing shit.
They essentially are. Yeah, they essentially are just two NPCs running around. And if they get downed, you have to use a potion to revive them. From what we've seen so far, there doesn't seem to be an equivalent to like Phoenix Down or whatever it's called, the revival item. You have to use one of your own potions. And you only get 5 from the get go.
I'm just wondering why it looks so bland. Like, why do the character designs look so uninteresting?
The combat is eh. The difficulty on the boss was fucking annoying. Like, for the boss, quote unquote chaos Garland, you pretty much have to use the soul shield mechanic to even defeat the boss. Because I went in with just like, okay, maybe if I can evade or if I just do a normal block with my sword, it should be fine. No, there's a lot of times the majority of it you have to like do like the perfect timing, like soul shield in order to defeat him. And it doesn't help that if you block, but he has like, if he's buffed his sword with fire or ice,
Yeah.
you still get minimal fire or ice damage, even if you do a normal block with your sword. So you have to soul shield parry. It doesn't help that a lot of his attacks have like so much range. Like he has a grab attack where it covers like, it felt like it covered like literally like 2/3 of the map of that room. And there's fucking tracking on it and everything. And it doesn't help that in his second phase that he just spams like a sword ice attack multiple times.
You know what this sounds like? This game sounds like a mess. That's what it sounds like.
It really does. I did not have the best of like impressions with it. So if this is what they've got, that it's not good. Which is a shame because I like Neo and Neo 2. They're great games that by the same people, Team Ninja. And like, this is what they're doing with it.
I don't know. It's like in the art direction itself is so weird. Like, I get like the art direction for like Final Fantasy, what is it, 15 was pretty toned down anyway, but at least the characters looked interesting visually.
Yeah.
Like, the characters don't even look interesting visually.
Yeah, so, I don't know. Yeah, Square Enix's conference wasn't good either. Bandai Namco... Actually, I didn't even watch the Bandai Namco one. Although, from what I saw, they only really announced, like, one thing, and that was it. I had some stuff, but the one, like, new thing was just one announcement.
That's all they did,
PC,
was just announce one thing, really? That's
I don't know, I'm joking, but I don't know. PC didn't really care for the PC one. Capcom also really dropped the ball.
What happened with Capcom? What did they do?
So all they mainly the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. So it's a bundle of a couple of the games that's getting released. Talking about Monster Hunter Stories 2: Wings of Ruin. Which we already know about. They talked about like the recent updates to Monster Hunter Rise, and then they also announced, "Hey, Resident Evil Village is getting DLC. What is it? We're not telling you. We're just telling you that it's getting DLC." That's it.
Okay. So I remember looking at some of the Bandai stuff. So basically, like they're releasing some, what is it? Ashes of what the fuck is that game called? House of Ashes, and it's like some horror game set in the Iraq War. Tales of
okay, yeah.
Tales of Arise, which I am actually interested in. Let me see what else. That's about it, I think. That's about I think. Yeah, I think you might be right when you said about like one game. Wait, hold on. Let me see. What is this? I think you might be right. No, okay. There's Scarlet Nexus, which I'm looking forward to. But like
Yeah, that
that's
comes out next week.
next week.
I
Woo!
think so. Yeah,
Oh my
next
god,
week.
that's gonna be amazing. I'm gonna play the shit out of that game.
Yeah. So, and then we come to the end, which was Nintendo. Nintendo kind of saved it at the end. They aside from like stuff that was already announced, they also like announced some new stuff as extras to their existing games. So I think they started off with a new character to Super Smash Bros. So Kazuya, I think the character's name was.
Oh yeah, from Yakuza, right?
Oh,
Oh no, from Tekken.
Tekken.
Tekken, yeah.
Yeah,
From Tekken.
Kazuya Mishima
Yeah, from Tekken.
was announced to be joining the Smash roster. I don't particularly care about Smash, but I was intrigued to see that it wasn't another anime sword character.
I mean, fucking what is it?
Because that seemed to be before E3 2021. It's just like, we have a new character. It's another anime swordsman.
What about Elden Ring? We didn't talk about that. That's coming out.
I'll save that after this.
That was also from the Namco. That's also from Bandai Namco.
And that was also Summerfest, yeah. But Nintendo, so yeah, we got new character for Smash. Super Monkey Ball's getting like a collection edition. Mario Party, another new Metroid Dread, which comes out this year. It's not the Metroid game that people are looking forward to, but they announced another Metroid game.
Okay, why is it not the one people are looking forward to? Treat me like I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Well, I'm not too big on Metroid either, but I think the one that a lot of people are looking forward to is Metroid 4, because it got announced ages ago.
Okay, so
Metroid Prime 4. Yeah.
Okay, so what are people's issues with the Metroid game anyway, if you don't mind my asking? With this Metroid game coming out?
I don't think anyone's had any issues. I think just a lot of people were expecting it to be more actual news on Metroid 4.
Oh,
Metroid Prime 4.
So I thought that's what Metroid Dread was. Or Metroid...
No.
It's not?
No.
What the hell is it then?
It's just another Metroid game. It's just not Prime 4.
Oh, okay.
But it goes back to the side-scrolling format. Because the last one was Samus Returns back in 2017 had the old side-scrolling version of Metroid.
Okay, I see.
What else? Danganronpa is getting like a huge collection of their games. Fatal Frame, Maiden of Black, is getting a port or an English release. Or
is that all the E3 was just ports and sequels?
Oh yeah, some were pretty much some were reports. We got some stuff from Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. A bit of the Breath of the Wild sequel as well. But I think the main thing, which I know you were definitely excited for, was Shin Megami Tensei 5.
Yes, that's what I was looking forward to. Yes.
Yeah, that looks interesting. I'll definitely be picking that up. Yeah.
It looks so fucking good. I cannot wait to fucking play it. Ooh, I'm loving that fucking game, man. It looks so fucking fun. But
yes.
Chris, have you played SMT3 yet?
Yeah, I've been playing it. I haven't finished it, but
alright, well, yeah.
I haven't gone back to it, but yeah, I'll get back to it eventually.
Alright, dude, it looks so fucking fun, man.
Yeah. And then there's the other events as well. Devolver has always had their funny let's make fun of the business thing that they do as always. It's just like, we're selling an NFT, non-fuckwithable tape.
What the fuck is Devolver? What is that?
So the Devolver Digital is a publisher for all of their presentations for E3 is essentially mocking the industry. So when they did one of microtransactions, they had someone literally like on stage, like throw money into their computer screen,
That's hilarious.
and then
That's
yeah.
hilarious. Holy
So
shit.
there's stuff like that. They always like to make fun of the industry while also like promoting their games. They promote a lot. They have like a lot of indie games. So I think that the main two that caught my attention were Trek to Yomi, which is kind of which seems to be like a samurai side scroller. That looked pretty good, and there was Wizard with a Gun. That looked interesting.
Wizard with a gun. The fuck? Okay, that sounds like it might be funny.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing that came out of E3, which you mentioned earlier, was Elden Ring. We finally got gameplay. We got another trailer.
We finally know what the fuck this game is about.
Yes.
Finally.
I'm so excited. And it comes out the first month of next year.
What about Lies of P? Are you looking forward to that one?
Oh, yeah. We haven't got anything else from out of that, but that still looks interesting. If I had to put the two together, I'm more interested in Elden Ring.
You aren't interested
I'm interested in Lies of P, but if I had to compare the two and say which one I'm more interested in, which I'm more anticipating and excited for, it would be Elden Ring.
That's fair.
Because it's from software.
You know what Lies?
So it looks.
I'm going.
Oh, you want to say?
I was just gonna say, you know what Lies of P looks like? It looks like basically Bloodborne with robots.
Yeah, Bloodborne
with robots, basically. Yeah.
Yes. Well, yeah, robots or puppets or whatever they are. Yes. Elden Ring was probably the biggest thing to come out of it. I'm pumped for that. Then there was the Take-Two conference.
Oh!
Which is like, somebody fucking, for some reason, recorded their Zoom meeting about diversity and we need more inclusion in the games and everything.
We need more diversity and inclusion, yay!
It's like, dude, we already had, like, for the most part, a shitty fucking E3, and now you add this.
This was just the worst fucking part, too. It's just like, some black dude was just like, when people see me and they know that I'm a game developer, their eyes light up because they see someone like me in video game development. No, they don't. It's just you're in video games and children like video games. That's it. As you could be white, you could be an alien, you could be white, and people would still have the same fucking reaction because it's video games and children love video games. Like this, just like it was just a giant circle jerk of like people talking about how awesome they were because of diversity. Like fuck off, man! I hate that shit so much. We're not very good minorities, Chris. We're not excited about. We don't get excited about diversity and inclusion. Yeah.
Yeah, aside from two main conferences, the press conferences, E3 wasn't good.
No, it wasn't. It's actually really boring.
It was incredibly lackluster.
There was a lot that I felt a lot more could have gone into E3 than what we got, you know.
I feel like a lot of the studios and publishers are pressured into we have to talk about something. It's like, no, you don't have to. If you have nothing, that's fine. Don't do an E3. Don't work on your stuff. Don't go on stage and say, hey, we're doing something. We're not showing you it because we don't have it. We just announced that we're doing it.
And please, for the love of God, no more diversity and inclusion panels. Oh God.
Okay, don't fucking let Take-Two do that again.
That was so painful. Like, we care about diversity and inclusion. I don't. Shut up and make games. There we go.
Pretty much, yeah. So, Actimal Drama. H3H3. Ugh. The mighty have fallen.
Like, dude. Okay, so it's gotten so. It's weird, right? How this first happened. It first started where Trisha says, like, makes an offhanded comment, and H3 and Ethan is just like tries to get her to talk about it, and she's like, I don't want to talk about it. And then she talks about it, and then like he blows up at her, and then they talk about like they have this like really passive aggressive like argument about how she thinks his segments suck because all he does is talk about Keemstar. And she's like, I'm tired of talking about Keemstar. That's all you ever talk about. And then he gets mad and she says, like, my segments are good. I make different segments. And then and then fucking, what's her fucking name? And then it turns into a bigger fight about money and shit. And how she feels like she's getting fucked out of money. And how he gets more money than she does. And then she made, like, what is it, like, 7 videos about it?
Yeah, a shitload of videos about it.
And
Because obviously, it's
like
Trisha.
her first video was like, "Oh, I apologize for what happened." Then she's like, "No, fuck this," and started making videos about like just shit talking. Even it was so fucking funny. Like, dude, like when Skull told me he liked watching H3 videos. I just had to look at I looked at him with disgust. But then
like, is he saying recent or past ones?
Oh, frenemies. I'm sorry, frenemies. When he said
frenemies.
When he said he liked frenemies, I was disgusted. But then he's like, "No, I like it because Trisha's a train wreck." And then after seeing this, I'm like, you know what? I agree. She is a train wreck. I can see why you like it.
Frenemies is obviously to capitalize on like a lot of like Trisha's like mental breakdowns.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's Ethan using her for the clicks.
Pretty much, yeah. Because
there's an infamous one. There is an infamous one where she has a mental breakdown, like when they're recording, and she's like, "Oh, I don't want to fucking be here. You know, Ela's a bitch. Everyone fucking."
Is that when she called Hila a cunt? Is that what that's from?
Yeah, like a bitch or like something like that. Yeah, and like Ethan, I think Ethan kept this up. I don't know if it is still up. I would not be surprised if it was. But like Ethan uploaded that. I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
she was clearly having a mental breakdown, and like the fact that he would keep it up is kind of shitty. It's just like she was having a mental breakdown. You caught her in a really vulnerable moment, and instead of like deleting it and being like, we don't need to, he, instead kept it up and then milked it for views. And it's just, and what's funny about that, here's the funny part about that, right? He actually used it against her and said that she was, used it against her in their fight and said, like, look how much, like, you're a horrible person. You say, like, horrible things about me and my wife. And I'm like, well, to be fair, like, she was having a mental episode, and you know that she's kind of unstable, so, like, this just feels kind of like you taking advantage of somebody who is clearly mentally unstable. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. And then it got worse with the whole, was it sexual abuse or harassment allegations from Trisha?
Yeah, because there were sexual abuse allegations, and I'm just like, this just seems kind of shitty.
Yeah. Then Trisha decided, fuck it, I'm bringing Gabby Hanna into this.
Okay, you got to tell me what the fuck is who is Gabby Hanna? What the fuck is she about? Why do people always talk about her? What is her deal? Who is Gabby Hanna?
Gabby Hanna is a former Viner turned YouTuber. Sometimes musician. Music is not particularly the best. It's here or there, but she's also most recently known for she has her kind of I don't want to say mental breakdowns, but it kind of looks like it. But Trisha apparently, according to Trisha, she was saying that that Gabby was obsessed with Trisha, like imagined that they were like friends or something, and was like stalking her. Was gonna go up to her house and like murder her or something. Jesus. Until like Gabby had to step in, like essentially just show the receipts. So fucking like Trisha's going off on everyone.
So Trisha's just kind of falling apart, basically.
Which is not rare. That's a common occurrence.
Pretty much, yeah. So that's basically that's what the whole Gabby Hanna thing is about. All right, so is
Yeah.
that why everyone hates Gabby Hanna? Because like apparently,
There was other things that happened with Gabby that a lot of people didn't like her about. I can't remember because these were some time ago. Um, she has her own problems. She's not perfect either. But comparing the two, she's a saint compared to Trisha.
all right, so she's like the lesser of two evils, basically.
Yes,
Oh,
essentially,
okay,
yeah.
all right, okay. I see that. Like you have Gabby Hanna, then you have Trisha Paytas, and it's just like it just seems like you have like a big stew pot, right? And it's filled with like crazy. And I guess that's basically what they are. They're just like just two stew pots full of crazy and like weird. I'm surprised they don't have drug addictions. I remember I saw some video where like Trisha Paytas had like her face covered in semen or something,
Oh,
and I was
yeah.
like, and I'm just like,
It's
who is
it's
this
weird.
for?
It's either like they are having a mental breakdown, or they're doing this because they know it gets attention.
Oh yeah,
And it's really it you can't really tell at this point because they've been doing it for so long.
right, like Trisha and Gabby are both like I at first when I first saw Trisha Paytas, I was like, this bitch is crazy, right? And then apparently but then she apparently had like mental problems or something, and I'm like, okay, I guess like she has like a mental issue or something, and that's why Trisha Paytas is the way that she is. But it's like I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
but
it's all
yeah,
so very crazy, Chris.
it's also very crazy. But yeah, I have one other thing
What's that?
to talk of to finish it up.
All right.
So are you familiar with FriendlyJordies?
What the hell are those?
So FriendlyJordies is a Australian YouTuber and comedian. He does a lot of political talk,
Ugh.
mainly like exposing like the shady dealings, like corruption behind certain politicians.
Yeah.
His most recent was on the New South Wales Deputy Premier John Barilaro. Um, and a lot of times he does it. He adds like comedic parts to it, so it's not just like a video of just like information. He actually makes it engaging and like entertaining. Um, he's like mocked John Barilaro because John is of Italian descent, so he refers to him like BRUZ. He calls him BRUZ and like stuff like that. He's made merchandise like Super Mario Bros, where John is dressed up as Super Mario,
Super Mario
stuff like that.
Bros. That's hilarious.
And John has sent I think it's a defamation lawsuit against him, like saying, "Oh, he's making fun of me. He's being racist. Such and such and such. All of these like accusations."
Yeah.
It took a huge turn recently because one of FriendlyJordies, Jordan, one of his producers, Christo, was arrested recently. The reason, and which is weird because it does tie into the John Barilaro stuff. Because John Barilaro wanted him arrested, reportedly, allegedly, because Christo was stalking him, trying to follow him wherever he went. Two times. One of them was with Jordan when they went to one of his like speeches. Jordan was dressed as Luigi and was asking him, "Why are you suing us? Come on, John, why are you suing us?"
Holy shit!
And like Christo was also saying like what was pretending to be a lawyer. It was also saying like, "No, why are you suing us?" and stuff like that. And another instance, where he saw John recently, and because the defamation lawsuit they got, or whatever lawsuit or papers, whatever they got, had an error on it that in their legal rights they have to give it back so they can get a proper one sent to them if they actually want if John wants the defamation lawsuit to actually go through
Yeah.
or something like that. So John wanted wanted the producer arrested. But he didn't have the normal police sent to do it. He sent the Fixated Persons Unit, and for those who don't know who the Fixated Person Unit is, it is a counter-terrorism group designed to go after lone extremists.
Jesus Christ.
A New South Wales, a politician sent a counter-terrorism unit to arrest a YouTuber's producer.
That is the most insane shit I've ever heard. Is that?
And there's video of this happening because Christo's family recorded everything. So I think it was three plainclothes officers out of the Fixated Persons Unit essentially raided the house to arrest Christo. During the whole thing, he wanted to give his phone to his mother. They complained he's trying to give evidence away, so they apparently knocked down the mother and then almost killed one of their dogs as well.
Holy shit!
And the guy that did it was like, "Oh no, I tripped. I didn't assault you. I tripped." And they found out about like why he was arrested. Christo actually recorded himself seeing John Barilaro for the second time. The thing that caused the quote-unquote stalking was that he saw, because John claimed, "Oh, I was leaving from a wake and he was there. He seemed to be following me and he was harassing me and stuff like that." No, like Christo was doing his own thing. He had the papers with him at the time. He saw John. He recorded because he thought it'd be the best time to give him the papers so that the defamation and stuff can actually be properly done. There he goes. John doesn't say anything, doesn't even respond to him. And he just asks, like, "Can you take these papers?" Yada, yada, yada. John leaves. Christo does nothing. There was no... He was following me even after I left. So, he lied in a police report because now there is evidence.
This is the most psychotic shit I have ever heard in my life. Like, holy shit. Holy
it's
fuck!
It's
That's
insane.
so crazy.
It's funny because one of the things that John has said is that they're accusing me of corruption, of me treating using my political position as if I'm in a mafia. John, some word of advice: don't use a counter-terrorism unit if you don't want to look like you are corrupt or in a mafia.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Like, that sounds insane. Like, what the fuck?
That's probably the most insane thing, that he used a counter-terrorism unit on a YouTuber's producer.
I'm surprised that's like, holy shit. And so this guy basically, his content is basically exposing corruption.
For the most part, yeah.
I gotta watch this. This sounds fucking amazing, but also
yeah. He did a whole video about the arrest, like arrested, like talking about what happened, and then setting up a legal fund for Christo and his family to pay for their legal fees. Yeah, it's messed up. I think every side in Australia was just came together to agree, like, yeah, Barilaro is fucked.
Like, holy shit. The fact that they tackled his mother is like, what the fuck? He's giving away evidence. We gotta tackle the mother. Like, what the fuck? Bro, that's like that. This dude's career is over, man.
Hopefully, yeah, because that is huge abuse of power.
Holy shit. So, all right. What did you think of What did you think of today's episode, anyway, Chris? How was it?
It was pretty good.
I think so. I think we did a pretty good job, actually.
Yeah.
We're always.
It'll be good on YouTube and
Oh, spot. Oh, right. Right. Okay. So I'm fucking retarded. I almost forgot. Okay. So what we're doing is we're going to start I'm going to start putting our podcast on other platforms so that if you want to listen to us on like Spotify or something, you can. Like that to sort of branch out, and who knows, we might actually one day get a following, and you might have like more, and that might lead to us having more than 23 views on a video. There you go. There you go. We might actually like get somewhere, and like people might be like, "Who's those guys?" That's the Minorities report. Isn't that interesting?
Yes.
Isn't that interesting? Like, what would you do? What would you do if we had an a following, Chris? What would you do?
Oh, I don't know. Same as always, I guess.
Just shit posts on Twitter? Is that it?
Yes.
And show off your action figures? Is that basically it?
Yes. Essentially, yes.
Can you imagine people being like, "Oh, I like the Minorities report. These guys are funny and like they make thought-provoking content." Well, that's clearly not the case, but like they make interesting content that I can get. They make interesting content. I want to follow these guys and hear their opinions about the world. I don't know why you would, but like, hey, it's awesome if people are like, hey, they're interested in what we have to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though we're like, although probably, I'm gonna guess so I'm gonna say this. This will probably be the end of like Raw Corrupt, where I say faggot and make all sorts of fucked up comments about shit because I know I'm gonna have to clean it up for fucking Spotify because I know they won't let me say probably what I want to say on there. So. I can't keep it real anymore, but that's okay. Because, even though I'm not saying, like, faggot or some other fucking slur, it's still in my heart. There you go. The slurs will always be in my heart.
You'll tell. You'll feel it.
You'll feel the slurs. You'll feel the hate crime coming from your computer screen. There you go. You'll just feel the hate crime flowing through your screen, and that feeling of like raw racial hatred will be corrupt. There you go. I don't know why I sound like the Klan, but yeah, there you go. Anyway, but seriously, that like. Soon, I'm going to see if I can get us on pretty much as many platforms as I can. And, who knows, like, we might actually get somewhat of a following, which would be pretty cool because, why not? It might be actually pretty cool to have, like, a little bit of a following. To have, like, people we don't know listening to us and hearing our, like, hot takes.
Yes.
It just sucks that there's barely anything going on lately, but you know what? That's okay too. We always find something to talk about, even if it's like not a whole lot. We always have some kind of commentary to bring to the table, because that's what we do. That's how we roll, nigga. So, but enough of this. It's time for us to leave, and I am Corrupt.
I'm Chris.
Thank you for watching today's episode of the Minorities Report podcast. You thought I was gonna fuck that up too, I bet. But like, I did fuck that one up this time. So, thank you for joining us. Stay tuned next week when we talk about something. I have no idea what we're going to talk about. Probably something stupid.
We'll figure it out.
Probably something stupid, because there's always something to talk about. Anyway, see y'all later.
Bye.